Good morning everyone guys, and welcome to this new format where we're going to cook easy, quick recipes that are also inexpensive. I'm Fabio Marchione, I'm a cook, but I dream of making a living by creating videos. It's the first time I'm bringing this format to the channel, but a lot of you have asked me for it. Let me know if you like this kind of video by giving it lots of likes, leaving comments, and of course, subscribing to the channel. Today we're going to cook a very simple recipe that we often make at home. And in fact, today I'm going to make it in a slightly larger quantity because tonight my sister is coming over for dinner. It's a one dish meal which is called the one dish meal. That is, this dish doesn't have a specific name. Super easy and fast. What are the ingredients? So for this recipe we have parboiled rice. I recommend using parboiled rice because it doesn't overcook. It's the kind you use for salads. Then we have bell peppers, zucchini, an onion, and then we have ground meat. Before we start with the process, let's try to figure out the cost of this dish. Parboiled rice, 2 kilo, 2.09 euros. For one person, we only need 100 grams, so we're talking about 10 cents. Zucchini, 1.89 euros per kilo. Here too, we use 100 grams, so that's 18 cents. 1.99 euros per kilo, so we're talking about 19 cents. Then we have some ground meat. This is a mixed ground meat, half a kilo for 2.99 euros. So 100 grams of ground meat is 59 cents. The total for this recipe for one person is 1.06 euros. To make good dishes, you don't necessarily need expensive ingredients, you just need to cook with love. Let's take a pan, put a little bit of oil in the pan, not too much olive oil. Then let's take an onion and a knife. Then what do? We take a second pan. And we also put it on the stove with a little bit of oil. And we divide the onion between the two pans. Again, don't pay attention to the quantities because today I'm making more than just for 1 or 2 people. I'm making it for 10 people. Once the onion is chopped, what I'm going to do is cut the bell pepper. I cook the bell pepper first because bell pepper and zucchini have 2 different cooking times. What if I combine them all? I'll end up with the zucchini all mushy and the bell pepper just right. Or the zucchini is cooked just right and the bell pepper is still raw. So I'll have to add the bell pepper first, and after 3-4 minutes I'll add the zucchini. I'm gonna cut both the bell pepper and the zucchini into cubes. Be careful not to cut the zucchini too small, otherwise it will get mushy. Alright, now while our bell peppers are browning, make sure the heat is nice and high because we want to give them a nice color, a good browning. Let's go ahead and cut the zucchini. Now the size of the zucchini. It should be about this size. Take it, we cut it in half first, then like this. And then we cut them to about this size. This way we don't risk everything falling apart, but the zucchini stays more or less intact. In the other pan we used, I'm going to brown the meat. Now, if for convenience you want to do everything together, meaning that you add the peppers, the zucchini, and after a couple of minutes you add the meat. Alright, but the meat doesn't get browned well. It's true, you save a pan, you save washing an extra pan, but if we do it separately, the meat gets browned better. Especially if you make the version with chicken. As I told you, this dish has several variations. You can make it however you like. Instead of ground meat, we often use diced chicken breast. You can cook it in a separate pot. It definitely browns better rather than putting it together with the vegetables, but that's really up to you. Brown it over fairly high heat because it really needs to be nicely browned, more or less. At this point, we can go ahead and add the zucchini. And now I can go ahead and salt the vegetables since I've added both of them. Thank you for watching. So now, while we wait for everything to cook and our meat to brown, our vegetables are also browning nicely. I want to talk to you about the variation that we can make with this dish. As I mentioned, we can use something else instead of ground meat. Chicken breast. One thing I like to do is add the secret ingredient to give it a special flavor, whether it's ground meat or chicken breast. I add a bit of seasoning for meat, the classic roast herbs. These give it a spectacular flavor. Then in the same way you can also use whatever vegetables you want. Sometimes we even add mushrooms. And sometimes we make it with peppers, mushrooms and chicken with a rice base. Or we make it with zucchini, mushrooms and ground meat. If you want, you can also add some leek, which I really like. You could also add some carrots, why not? Remember to add them before the bell peppers, because carrots take a long time to cook in the pan. But let's say you can play around with the flavor and with the ingredients you like the most. Once the meat and vegetables are almost cooked, what we're gonna do is combine them together so everything gets well flavored. Now really, don't worry about the quantities. Today there are 10 of us, so as a result, the pan is nice and full. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Colorful, fragrant. It's a spectacle. This is a dish that we really love at home. It's commonly called the dog smash, but it's one of our favorite dishes. While everything finishes cooking, can I go cook the rice? Perfect, guys. Now our rice is practically cooked. Let's go drain it. And now we're ready to plate. Perfect, guys. Now everything is cooked. We're ready to plate. I'm trying to plate it like Cannavacciuolo. Guys, I don't know if I can do it, but we can try like this. A strip of rice. I'm not great at plating, otherwise I wouldn't be here, guys. And then we have, look how beautiful it is. Look how nice and colorful it is. Oh my. And here is our main dish. Then, if you want to mix everything together, blend all the mixture with the rice, cook it together, you can do it without any problem. It's up to you. Let's say the final result, I would say that it's good for a €1 dish. Alright guys, so this was the first video of the series Eating with €1, where I show you simple, quick and cheap recipes. Give it a thumbs up, make sure to leave lots of likes and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video. And that's it guys, I'll see you in the next video.